My name is Jimmy.
What's up, you guys? Jimmy here, back at you with another review for Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3. This is the third episode, titled A Wanted Inhuman, which, just as the title says, this episode is mainly focused on Lincoln being on the run, as we saw towards the end of the premiere, which he's not only being hunted by that organization, that task force, but he's also on the run from law enforcement and even civilians because of the news putting out an 800 number to contact. So that pretty much limits the people that he can really trust. But after something happened to an old friend of his, he ends up having to ask Daisy for help. But not S.H.I.E.L.D. because he still does not trust them. But Coulson and that woman in charge of the task force had a little bit of a chit-chat. I guess she kind of knew that Lash was the one killing those people, at least in the hospital. But she's wanting to use Lincoln as a face. Because I guess people would be less scared if it's just a normal person than Lash himself. I guess it sort of makes sense because it creates less panic than there would be if they showed off a picture of Lash. But at one point, she even blackmails Coulson to give up Lincoln because she's like, oh, this girl works for you, and she's one of those Inhumans. So pretty much Coulson had no choice. But Lincoln got away. But also in the episode, we see an update on Hunter and May's mission to take down Ward, which pretty much on their segment was him pretty much proving himself to be a part of Hydra, which Hunter had to do it for the fact that if May did it, it wouldn't take long for Ward to figure out that it was her, just because he knows her. And we haven't seen any other Asian women that can kick ass in the show. So, pretty dang obvious. But that's pretty much what happened in this episode. The thing I love the most in this episode is the final scene, which Gemma is investigating, kind of examining a piece of the monolith. Because for some reason she needs to go back, which I think that's our main threat for the season. Because for the past 2 seasons, we didn't find out until close to the end. So it's kind of nice to have some hints beforehand. Because I was like, thinking, like, even after seeing Lash, I really wasn't thinking him to be like the whole entire threat of the season. And pretty much the Inhumans were sort of the threat of last season. So I believe because the monolith most likely is of Kree origin, I think the Kree are somehow, or a Kree is going to be some sort of threat for them. That's why I'm kind of assuming, because of the fact that the Kree created the Inhumans. Just my little guess. But now when it comes to the Secret Warriors, which that's what this season is bringing in, I can definitely tell they're changing up from the comics. I mean, Quake was an Inhuman. They've just been using Inhumans as their way of making metahumans without using X-Men. And I kind of think that the whole entire team is just going to be Inhumans. Because Nick Fury was a part of the Secret Warriors. But I just think it's going to be all Inhumans, just for the fact that some of the focus has been to search for the newly found Inhumans. But even last week, me and a friend of mine discussed about this season so far, based on the first 2 episodes. And me and him both believe that this season is pretty much a setup for Civil War, which is the new Captain America movie, if you didn't know. Which I guess it kind of does make sense for the fact of the task force being made by the president, and they're hunting pretty much powered people because they don't know of the term Inhumans yet, really. And based on what I've heard around, I don't think they're going to be doing the exact same thing from the comics, which I guess that could be a good thing because I have not heard great things on the original Civil War comic. I already know of one change that they're making, but who knows what other changes they're going to be doing. But I'm kind of excited for next week's episode because we see Lash again. And I have to say, he's kind of been one of my favorite little villains that appear in the season so far. Lash and Deathlock, I'd say, are my favorites when it comes to those little villains. But that's pretty much on my thoughts on the episode. Let me know yours down in the comment section below, as well as if you noticed any Easter eggs or what you think of the season so far. And don't forget to check out my other reviews for like The Flash, which was earlier tonight, and all my other reviews, and also new Ant-Man sequel got announced called Ant-Man and Wasp. So Wasp is going to, that movie is going to be the first female-led Marvel film. So I'm sorry, Miss Marvel, you're going to have to move over because Wasp is going to be the first female-led superhero. And also there was 3 dates announced for the year 2020. So this is going to be, that's going to be the first 3 titles in Phase 4, which, based on what I've heard about the future, I'm kind of interested in what they have in mind after Avengers 3. But my name's Jimmy. Until next time, bye.